going to do what God put Ron Burgundy on this earth to do. Have salon-quality hair and read the news.
This week's Trending Topics.
All right. So from your friend and mine, Matt Southern over at Search Engine Journal, Twitter is actually experimenting, showing users more ads. Spokesperson said, we're always running experiments with our ad experience, including various aspects of ad frequency and targeting. So the article is really just kind of unpacking, you're going to be seeing more ads. You're going to be tested on more ads on a regular basis. However, not all users are going to have the same ad frequency. Means that's more will have some than others. I was looking at my Twitter feed today, and I saw literally about 4 ads in about 10 organic posts, which was amazing to me, especially when we were talking about this article today. So, Jenny, what's your take on the ad space inside of Twitter and this new ramp up of frequency?
Yeah, I actually, to be honest, feel like this was a long time coming, and it's sort of odd that this is ad load is just now something that they're experimenting with. Twitter has been an interesting one to watch. Their ad revenue has been growing primarily due to video advertising. And what's been interesting to watch from our perspective is they had really been trying to make big inroads on performance advertising. And tried for a number of years and then retreated. I mean, they were the first ones out with lead ads. And then Facebook, as they are wont to do, copied it and did it better. So that space, I think, has been kind of interesting to watch Twitter try to dive right in. They made some acquisitions around performance and tried to make a go of it, and then retreated in a way that felt like an early retreat. So I think this is kind of a long time coming, and we'll see where it goes. I know that they're growing their ad revenue, but it's kind of been this sort of quiet platform that we haven't been seeing much of outside of sort of what they've been doing on the video front.
Right. Well, they couldn't push too hard because of all the spam that was in the space 2 years ago, and they really cleaned up that side of the equation, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, and it still does have, there's still the brand safety concerns with the types of conversations that happen on Twitter that we're all familiar with.
Oh yeah.
So there's obviously advertisers' concerns around there, but with live events and kind of the branding aspects of that, they're trying to make inroads there. So
hopefully they don't abuse their audience because we've been chafed a bit from everything that's been going on there. Hopefully they don't take the plunge too deep, because I think audiences on social platforms far and wide are a bit done with the inundation of advertising.
Yeah. Yes. I have to say, personally, I end up using TweetDeck most of the time when I'm during the day, and then using the app at night. So it always is a little interesting to watch the difference between the ad version and the ad-free version.
Yeah, you better believe it. Speaking of differences in versions, what a great segue here, huh? From Marketing Land, check this out. Roku's new Activation Insights tool actually targets viewers who have shifted to streaming. This is from Taylor Peterson. The tool is designed to actually compare potential reach from linear TV ads, giving advertisers visibility into how their campaigns would perform on the Roku platform. And I really do think this is the first time that we've actually seen this type of ad campaign tool set to be able to give traditional TV advertisers an understanding of what their ad campaigns could actually affect, who they could affect, and the type of ROI. So the article went in a little bit deeper in understanding that it's a quote from Rosenberg, actually. We don't believe it's a question of when advertising budgets will shift, but how shift to streaming, but how they're going to shift to streaming. And you're going to see platforms really build up this type of data collection for an easy transition from traditional mediums to the streaming. Ginny, what are you thinking about this Roku article?
Yeah, so this is the streaming, OTT, addressable, whatever you want to call it. They're all these kind of different elements that are outside of their traditional linear media buys. Watching this grow has been really interesting. And the Roku, so from the linear side, this is for decades the way that most video TV advertising has been bought through linear, and so there's technological challenges, there are institutional challenges, and there are data challenges with making the switch from traditional linear buys to streaming and addressable buys. So that's Roku's trying to say, look, we can help you match your audience targeting up against our audiences and give you a projection on what that performance is going to look like, and put media buyers kind of at ease and give them some projections of what this kind of experiment is going to look like.
It is still an experiment, isn't it? The streaming audience and the streaming ad in a interstitial, it's still not a mature environment that can be wholly trusted by advertisers that are very comfortable in a 40-year, 50-year ad delivery engine like TV, for example. So they've got to know that data, and unfortunately, it's only a segment of the audience that they are affecting in the traditional means. But there's so many cord cutters out, so many people making the full-on transition, that there has to be this embrace now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're definitely going to keep seeing this grow. I do think the growth will continue to be incremental as as the industry kind of wraps its arms around this. And there's certainly massive pushes to make this happen. And yet still a lot of institutional barriers to adoption.
Yeah,
and anyone, if you watch the ads version of Hulu, you can start to see, when you see the same ad 5 times in one show, that there's issues.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, there
with
are
seemingly simple technological
That's
issues
funny.
that have not been solved.
I think the number one reason I started paying to get rid of the ads on Hulu was because I was tired of the same ads.
I know.
Because originally I was like, 1 or 2 ads, that's not bad, and it's less advertising per show.
Yeah.
But it's the same ad every break, and I just, what?
Oh, it was
like $3 a month extra.
It was inundating, and there was one commercial out there. Forgive me, Jenny. It was literally this guy that was being taught to from a voice of God about not drinking and driving. And I was watching whatever show I was doing. Literally every break. I think it was the Twilight Zone, actually. Every break. It was a repet. And it's like, okay, come on, just give me some black space or something.
I know. It really is mind-blowing that is still happening, and that's been happening for years. So there's a ways to go.
Yeah, they can drop the price of the ads and let people come on in and do something. Yeah. People are just going to push away more and more. All right. So something that people are pushing away from and need to have more information about how to do it is, they don't like their voice recordings being stored in Google Home and Alexa. People are getting more and more creeped out of how much. Yep, I just turned on Alexa, didn't I? In the studio. Literally, there's so much that these smart speakers are collecting. From Android Police, an article from Rita L. Corhi, I hope I pronounced that right. You can now ask Alexa to delete all your voice recordings from the day. Quote here is, "The world is slowly waking up from a full trust in digital companies, deep, somber, and realizing that privacy and security do matter a lot. Amazon is following on that path by introducing a way for you to quickly delete all of your Alexa voice recordings for that day. I'm going to put a exclamation or at least an asterisk on that day, right? So in this space, we're certainly going to be talking about voice search here in a little bit. But what's your take on the ability to be able to at least delete some of this stuff now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the asterisk is well placed for that day. I'm not sure how many consumers are going to remember to delete every day, but certainly those who are extra privacy conscious are going to be thinking about it. I do think it does speak to not just consumers waking up to this, but companies listening to consumers waking up to privacy concerns.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where there's been we can argue that not enough consumers care about their privacy, or that they are willing to make trade-offs, or there's too much to do in the day to be worrying about every piece of privacy that you're exposing, every piece of data that you're exposing. It's a lot to ask consumers. So for companies to make the assumption that just means that consumers don't care, I think is not correct. And so I do think that this is at least some modicum of an acknowledgement that by Amazon that listening to consumers, that what, they do care, and if they can offer this as a competitive edge, or lead the industry in this direction. I mean, I think Facebook coming out with Portal during this time of deserved privacy scrutiny by consumers of Facebook for a whole host of reasons, the seemingly endless host of reasons.
It's a clown car. It keeps on.
Yeah.
Privacy concerns keep on coming out of Facebook.
Yeah. This is a way for Amazon to say we're listening.
Absolutely. I think it may be more of a PR thing than anything else, because you can delete it, but are you going to actually set an Alexa appointment to actually delete your Alexa recordings?
Right.
Could you do that? Maybe that would help.
Yeah. And what I also don't know is if this if it's more than PR, and if it's also a response to GDPR regulations as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't want to undersell that, but it's a long time coming for us to easily be able to do that. But those options have always been there. If they've just been kind of in the back channels of your application, you can purge this content. You can get rid of it, and then not whether or not it's all gone, we don't know. But they've given you the controls. They're just kind of bringing it to the surface, so it's more readily available for consumers that don't want to deep dive. But going to see more and more of this, aren't you?
I think so. I say that with some hesitation, because there is resistance to, as much as many of these companies will talk about wanting to be transparent and customer friendly, consumer friendly, privacy centric.
Right.
I think we can see over time and time again that making these controls readily available, easy to use, easy to understand, is a constant battle.
Absolutely. So I want to throw in a fourth article here, because we are going to be jumping into machine learning, and this certainly is a bit of news that just came out here yesterday from Amy Geston Hughes over at Marketing Land. LinkedIn looks to improve ad targeting and attribution capabilities with Drawbridge acquisition. Drawbridge technology will actually be used to help improve reach of LinkedIn's matched audience and audience network campaigns to provide better attribution. And key points of why we care: there's an improved reach via LinkedIn's matched audiences and audience network campaigns. And there's also, again, better attribution, allowing advertisers to measure the results that they're generating from the LinkedIn campaigns across channels and devices. Guys, we've got platform attribution here. To that, I'm opening it up to Ginny, because this is right in the space of what we're about to talk about.
Yeah, so this is an interesting acquisition. I think obviously we've seen LinkedIn make a number of constant steps towards improving its ads offerings, and having the Drawbridge technology to the identity resolution piece of this to be able to expand the ID matching to expand audiences and to be able to attribute across devices is something that their LinkedIn's competitors are able to offer. So, for B2B advertisers in particular who gravitate towards LinkedIn, this is something that they should certainly be paying attention.
Absolutely. And they've been making strides in their advertising platform here as of late. And this is just a demonstration of how far they're going to really make it a solid destination for part of your digital marketing portfolio. And we're seeing also really good results in that space. Again, in the B2B aspects. Excellent. Yeah. So all of that is in the news. It's certainly going to be on the Edge show notes, so go and check that out. What we also wanted you to check out is our newsletter. We're packing this information in our newsletter each and every week. We're talking about who we're going to be interviewing next, who we just had an interview with, number of different articles, as well as all this news for your email perusing pleasure. And all you got to do is text to the number 22828, the word Edge Talk. Easy enough, and don't do that while you're driving, of course. But give your phone to your passenger; they'll be able to do it for you, as quick as that. You can also go to edgeofthewebradio.com. Right there at the top of the page, you can sign up for the newsletter, completely free. Obviously, we're not going to do anything with your email except send you these digital marketing nuggets of gold. So there should be no issue. Just jump on in there and be part of the Edge Nation.